Hey folks, it's Chris Gordon, and I'm here today to talk about pentatonics. All right, we're talking pentatonics today. So, what I'm going to be doing today is what is known as pentatonic extraction. The idea uh, came from Frank Gambale from his book Guitar Techniques, came out in the 80s. And when I started to utilize this technique of his, I was blown away by its application. And so I'm going to share a little bit of that with you today, and kind of jam on it and see how, if you're hearing the things that I'm talking about, if you're picking up what I'm throwing down. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm going to start uh, in A Dorian. That's the jam that I have loaded up here. So A Dorian. Now, if you're asking why I would use a B minor pentatonic or an E minor pentatonic over that, what I'm doing in terms of formula is the A minor 7, the A Dorian, is the 2 chord to a parental key G. Right? So in the key of G, you map out all the modes that are related to that. You know, G Ionian, A Dorian, B Phrygian, C Lydian, D Mixolydian, E Aeolian, or the natural minor, as we like to call it. And then we have F sharp, Locrian, bringing us all the way home, back to G. So if A Dorian is a minor scale, which it is, 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, back to the root, I can easily make that a pentatonic. I just take out the 6th, right? And I take out the 9th. But I'm going to throw in the flat 5, because why not? So now I have that E flat against the harmony. Okay, so let's check that out. Let me just use this scale over the A Dorian. All right, I cheated. I threw in a Dorian note. I'm sorry. I'm trying to stay pentatonic. Really taking advantage of that flat 5. Okay, so we're hearing the familiarity of that. That's very familiar to us. You know, we've heard that before. Especially us guitar players. You know, that sound. You know, now when I implement the B minor pentatonic, I'm taking that from the Phrygian mode. Now I understand that we're not in Phrygian. That's not even closely the sound that we're playing. But in relationship to the parental key, we have a B Phrygian scale, or at least a fingering that would spell B Phrygian from the root of B, right? 1, flat 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Now again, I know that's not the sound we're using, so I'm going to extract. I'm going to take the flat 2 out of the equation. I'm going to keep my flat 3rd, obviously, and I'm going to take that flat 6 out. And there I am, B minor pentatonic. Now, yes, I'm putting the flat 5 back in, which is in F natural, So how that's going to relate to the A? How is that going to relate to the A? How's the whole scale going to relate to the A? Well, that B is our ninth to the A minor seven. The D is the four, right? So we've had that before. We've had that in the A minor, but that's okay. E, we had that in A2. That's the fourth of B, but it's the fifth of A. Okay. Now here's the flat five. Here's that F, right? Well, that F is the flat 13. You know, the flat 13, the flat 6. Another cool passing tone though. You'll see. And then my F sharp is my fifth to B. However, it is my sixth to A. That's my Dorian note. So I have my Dorian note in this pentatonic. And then from there, I go to the flat 7 of B minor, but it's the root of our tonality, A. Just playing that familiar B minor pentatonic idea. You're hitting the root and the sixth of that automatically. Let's check it out. Let's see how that sounds. That's fun. Sounds like a lost Larry Carlton melody. So there we have that sound. It's one of my favorites. I should have saved that for the last one, but it's one of my favorites. I'm just going in order today. So again, I'm using a lot of familiarity in terms of the lines that I'm playing as if I was playing in B minor or B minor pentatonic. But I'm fully aware, I'm listening, that I'm actually in A Dorian. So it does inform my phrasing to a degree, but I'm really loving the isolation of those extended notes that are part of the A Dorian scale, but they're put into an interesting box. And the pun is intended there because it's our familiar of our box patterns, right? But there's an interesting way you can develop melodies that way. So, okay, moving on to the third and final one, and I'm going to address the fact that I left out Locrian in a minute. Because that's a different topic, but I will explain why I left it out. But before I do, here is E minor pentatonic over A Dorian. Now, what does that mean in terms of the interval relationship? Well, the root of our E minor pentatonic. First of all, let me address where it came from, right? The E Aeolian. 1, 2, flat 3, 4, 5, flat 6, flat 7. Well, I'm just going to take out the 2 and the flat 6. E minor pentatonic. But yet, again, I'm going to bring in the flat 5. And why would I do that? You'll see. The reason I'm doing that is, well, let's take a look at what that interval relationship is first. So E is the fifth to the root of our tonality. We've had that. We had that in the from the A minor pentatonic, right? We've also had it from the B minor pentatonic. So yes, there's redundancy here, but bear with me. The G as well, right? So we have the G, which is now the flat 7 to the harmony. Our root, obviously, from A. Now this B flat is going to act as the flat 9 against the harmony. And in this context, sometimes it's I don't know how rare it is to hear that flat 9. I've heard it. I've heard Stevie Ray Vaughan use it. I've heard it in a few other blues players where they really bring in that flat 9 in a cool way, and I'm going to attempt to do that on the jam. Flat 9, right? And then we have our B, which is our 9, right? So there's that 9 again, okay? And then there's our 4, which is D. So there's not a lot more that the E minor pentatonic offers outside of the notes that we already had from the A minor and B minor pentatonic. But again, I'm going back to that familiarity of playing certain ideas and cliches, and I mean that in a good way, over this kind of thing to yield these different effects and different sounds. So let's try this. E minor pentatonic blues over A Dorian. So they all have these different kind of approaches, and sometimes you land on something that you normally wouldn't have thought to land on, and it kind of creates this nice tonality. It's where I get a lot of my melodies from when I'm composing. I really do tend to lean towards that pentatonic sound, and I'll do a lot of pentatonic extraction to inspire melodic ideas. So before I do the jam of the 3 together, I'm going to do a pass and see what happens. I want to address the Locrian in the room. Now, what that is, and I've been asked this before, why I tend to leave it out of the family of minor pentatonic extractions. And the real quick and surface answer to that is it doesn't have a perfect fifth in it. Now, I know what you're thinking. Well, you added the flat 5 in the other ones, and this one already has a flat 5. And you're absolutely right. I would never argue that point. But I will say this much in terms of the way I categorize things. I consider that extraction an altered pentatonic, which is what I'm going to be talking about next time. So I leave that for that category. But I just wanted to put that out there to say that it's not lost on me that I purposely leave that mode out. But as you'll see in the next videos that I do on this, these ideas, I will be addressing that mode. Okay, so all right. So as I conclude here, I want to do a quick or an attempt of a pass utilizing all 3. And because mainly what I do is improvisation, this is not worked out, so I don't know where it's going to go. I may hang out in one minor pentatonic longer than I should or shouldn't. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine is. So here's a jam of me including all 3, and let's just see where it goes. That's what I was talking about earlier. That's where the melodies start to come in. A minor pentatonic into B. Just came up with that. E minor. All right, so you get the idea in terms of how you can combine it and where it goes. Right there, I was improvising, and then all of a sudden, this melody just started to kind of come to me. So it's what I find inspirational about using minor pentatonic extractions. Hope you guys found that helpful. And listen, the rabbit hole goes deep. And if you're interested, I am available through Zoom and Skype. Private one-on-one lessons, always an hour, sometimes more, and it's always a great time to hang out online with all you awesome players. So hit me up, cgsweep@gmail.com. You can also go to thechrisgordon.com, which is my website, thechrisgordon.com. It's not pretentious at all. And there's more information there. I'm always available. Love to do this. I'll talk to you guys all soon. Take care of yourself.